Warning, warning. This is a global ice out. Testing the right speaker. Right. Testing the left speaker. Left. Sound successfully recovered. Swan Commander. Connected. And now, the countdown has begun. And now, are you ready for a journey that goes beyond the norms? The Federal Prospects Hockey League just celebrated its 15th anniversary. With a footprint and fan base rapidly expanding, Swan Hockey is now bringing you behind the scenes. Beyond what you see at games. Beyond the arenas. Beyond the crowds. This is FPHL, Beyond the Glass.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of FPHL Beyond the Glass. I'm your host, Eric Swanick, Swan Commander on social media. We are heading to Baton Rouge this week, Baton Rouge Zydeco. We're going to be joined by President Don Lewis. Before we hop into that, I want to remind everybody that the chats for these episodes are in the Swan Hockey Discord server. Join for free at swanhockey.com. Let's get into it. Don, welcome back to the podcast. How you been? It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're the first repeat guest.
Yeah, is that good or bad for you?
No, it's good. I'll take it. It's good. We had a great conversation last time, so I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's good. Looking forward to Baton Rouge this season. We're going to have a strong season, I think, for our fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Headed into year 3. What's new and exciting?
It's exciting. You know, we really pride ourselves, myself and our entire staff, of making sure, you know, we have a promotion every single game. You know, a lot of teams do a great job with that, but
you're doing every single game.
Every single game, we
That's
try
cool.
to have something. You know, it's a lot of extra work on the staff, but the entire staff we have down there, you know, wants to make sure our fan experience is the best that we can do down there.
Yeah, for sure. Any promotions in particular that you're looking, like, which ones are you looking most forward to?
Yeah, we got a really cool.
You can share at this point.
Yeah, no, we put our promotional schedule out. You know, there's a lot of fun things, Star Wars nights, things like that. We try to do fun theme nights, but, you know, rally towels, T-shirts, thunder sticks, all that stuff's always fun for the fans to be able to come in and get something in their hands, you know, to enjoy a night of hockey out. So really looking forward to all those fun promotions. And, you know, the teddy bear toss is always huge, I think, in every city throughout hockey, from the NHL right down. You know, fans really like that. And, you know, we try to do everything we can to give back to the community. We're doing a really cool Purple Heart Night this year. One of our staff members, Keith, came up with this idea with another sponsor. So it'll be really nice to recognize, you know, veterans, police, first responders, everything like that. So pretty excited for this upcoming season with the promotions.
Yeah, for sure. And like the whole, you know, show within a show, which I know you're big on and everything. So that's really cool. Now, you guys have had some staff changes, particularly head coach. You guys hired head coach Sylvain Cloutier, who has since gone up to the ECHL. Now you have Chad Bailey in. Why don't you talk a little bit about kind of that whole process throughout the summer?
Yeah, you know what, Sylvain, he was on Chris and I's list right at the top there, and then, you know, good for him. You know, he was in the NAL and took a run for a championship, you know, so took a little longer than we wanted, but he was involved still behind the scenes with, you know, when it came to the draft and everything like that. And then I think we had our press conference, and then he called me probably a month after that, I guess it was, you know, and he took the job in the ECHL. I don't think anybody can blame anybody for doing something like that, right? That's why we're all in this business, is you want everybody to move up. I really enjoyed working with Sylvain. He's a class act guy. He had, you know, he was putting one heck of a roster together. But, you know, he's from up that way. His daughter's getting ready to graduate. So, you know, he'll be able to be at school for these events with her. He'll be able to be at home, you know, closer to home, I should say, instead of, you know, he's been in Texas for a while and things. So
yeah,
good for him. I couldn't be more happy. Him and his family is just great people. From, you know, I got to meet his wife and hang out with her during the press conference with him. Great people all around. They're absolutely great. And then, you know, so that took place, and obviously good for him. You know, it was a little bit of a shock for us, obviously. You know, you're moving forward. So we started looking. He gave us an equipment guy. He had input of, what do we think? What do you think of this guy? What do you think of that guy? And then
Yeah.
it came down to Chad, and I truly believe Sylvain will help us out at any time. But Chad's been great. He's got the roster coming together really well. Obviously, you know how it is, right? Behind the scenes, there's a complete roster almost, right? Like we release it slowly to the fans
Right.
and everything, but behind the scenes, Chad's done an incredible job putting the roster together, and we're looking forward to a fun season. We're moved forward, and we're just looking forward to a great season on and off the ice. Our fans, I came in 2 years ago. This will be my third season, and the fans had a really rough season that first year, from top to bottom. Our players from top to bottom almost. Last year we started changing the culture a little bit more, and things were moving forward. And we had a great season, right? We got into the playoff play-in game, I guess you could say, for the playoffs, and then we're just looking to keep building from there. And our fans deserve that. They show up to every game. The first year we broke the league attendance, I guess, over 110,000. Last year we had a great season with our fans, and congratulations, I think it was to Monroe that broke a new attendance record. I think it was Monroe or Binghamton. I don't know who it was off the top of my head, but congratulations to them.
I want to say you're right with Monroe. I could be wrong, and I apologize to everybody if I'm wrong, but I want to say it's Monroe.
I believe it was, yeah. So
because I think they each kind of split an attendance record. Like I think one of them had the overall, one of them had the average. So I think they both kind of took one of the categories each. I don't remember. I think you're correct though with that. Monroe had the overall attendance.
Yeah, and that's awesome, right? That's great to see for any organization, but for Baton Rouge that we're focused on, we had one heck of a season with our fans showing up. So super excited, super thankful for all of our fans and partners.
Yeah, for sure. And that's cool to just see, like, records continuing to be broken, right? It shows, again, I say it almost every week now, a theme of the show has been the forward progress of the league, right? Which is what you want to see in anything in life. It's what it's all about, right? Forward progress. And, to see, records, being broken at this pace, it's what you want to see. Hopefully we break another record this year. I know they're anticipating over 1 million fans walking through the door league wide this year, which is awesome.
It's great. And, I want Baton Rouge back up there again and help push them over the million fans throughout every team throughout the door. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, kind of like going back to what you're saying, talking about, Sylvain. And first off, like, that's great. Like, like obviously you wanted to have Sylvain in Baton Rouge, but now that's a phenomenal contact and relationship that you have, in the ECHL now, which is obviously very, very valuable. And it's kind of interesting because, you mentioned behind the scenes and like that, stuff gets released in drabs and whatnot. It's, another little tidbit for people at home is it's kind of interesting because like you said, you want to see everybody go up. You want to see, again, forward progress, what we're talking about, but it's minor league sports in general. It's such a unique operation to put together in terms of assembling a staff or assembling a roster. Cause I remember even back when I was working in the ECHL, it's like, you wanted to put together the best thing that you could, but it's like, if it's too good, if you do too good of a job, you lose them quick. Right. Yeah. So like where you hire a great coach and it's like, maybe too great. Right. Or like when you hit that home run with a hire, you always run that risk of whether it's a player or a coach that they're going to go up and sometimes sooner than later. And obviously this is a case where it was, sooner than later.
Yeah, and we want to see our guys move up to the ECHL, right? That's our step. The next step is the ECHL from here. And we want our guys to move up to that. We want our coaches to move up to that. I want our staff to move up. I'm the type of person that's not going to hold anybody back. Players only play for so long, right? So if they're unhappy or they have family, needs, whatever it might be, I'm not going to hold somebody back as long as we can make a move that's fair for both teams. And I can make a player happy. I'm going to do that for the players' good. Like I said, you only play so long, so I don't want to hold a guy somewhere where they don't want to hold, even if it's a, if it's a move that's that's not fan friendly or something like that. They only have so long, so you hope that the fans understand that part. I want to win more than anybody. I'll tell you that right now. I'm a poor sport when it comes to that stuff at the end of a game. I want to win more than anybody, but I'm going to do what's best for the fans, what's best for the players, what's best for the organization at the end of the day. That's what I'm all about.
Hey, everyone. Don't forget to join the Swan Hockey Discord server. Joining is free and gains you access to our podcast chats, giveaways, season pass discussion and help, junior hockey camps and showcase discussion, NHL on Xbox and PlayStation discussion, and more. Join today for free at swanhockey.com. And it boomerangs back around because, now you have a great contact in the ECHL, and now you have Chad Bailey coming in as coach. So, bring a guy in, guy goes up, but, doing the right thing, it boomerangs back.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you just said, Chad Bailey's coming in, and he'll be a good contact for Chad too. So we'll see once training camp gets over and everything of where everything goes. Obviously, we got a good relationship with him, and want to keep that working and keep that, like you said, boomerang. Hopefully, it comes right back to us.
Yeah, for sure. And how's the adjustment been for Chad? Like how much of the roster has Chad put together? How much was Sylvain putting together? Like how has that chemistry been and whatnot?
It's been pretty good. It's been a good changeover. Sylvain put quite a roster together, and then Chad came in, did his tweaks and everything. So both of them, I guess you could say, both of them worked well on the whole situation. Chad packed up his family, moved down here. So he's definitely, bought in 100% focused on the team. And obviously that'll be his say with, who comes out of camp for the main roster.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know if their coaching style, are their coaching styles pretty similar? Like I know Sylvain well. I don't know Chad very well.
I think they're both aggressive. I think they'll both do a great job. Chad's got a lot of contacts in the junior leagues, so that'll be a huge help for Chad too to have those contacts. A lot of people speak very highly of him.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, those contacts are huge because here's something that's interesting. And I spoke about it with one of the league guys. I think it was last week. So there's a certain way of recruiting, right? Like typically the guys targeted for this league are coming out of college, coming out of major junior. Now, probably I want to say about 2 weeks ago, there was 2 players that were announced that are going to NCAA Division I that previously played in the ECHL and the AHL. And those are the first 2 cases of it since those big. So for anybody out there that doesn't know, there's been a massive NCAA rule change over the last year, maybe year and a half now, where major junior players can now play NCAA Division I, where previously they were never allowed to. Now they can. Now that's been taken a step further, and we have apparently the first 2 pro players going back now to play NCAA Division I. Can you see that ever changing the way that some of the pro leagues, maybe even the federal league, recruit in terms of taking a kid at a junior and saying, hey, if you're not liking it here, now you can go back and play college?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if that'll hit the federal league right away, but I do think at some point that's going to catch up, and everybody will have to be careful and keep that in the back of their mind. But I do, yeah, absolutely, that's gonna affect some things.
Yeah, because it's interesting, right? And then like a guy like Chad that has contacts in junior, maybe you can grab a guy or two. Like it'll this whole thing at the junior level, it's probably, like, my opinion, I think it's going to take like 5 years to cycle out to see where all the dust settles, because the rule changes, but you still have the mentality maybe hasn't changed 100% yet with the rule. So I think it might take like 5 years for everything to cycle out. But it'll be interesting to see where all this goes, and that could be a whole nother dynamic for somebody like Chad that has has a strong hand in junior hockey and whatnot. Be very, very interesting.
It will be, and I agree with everything you just said. It's going to be very interesting, and I do agree. It's 5 years or so. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back, you mentioned culture changes in Baton Rouge, right? It's like when you came in there, you guys did a lot to change the culture. You want to talk about some of those changes? What was important to you when you said, okay, like, this is what I'm seeing. I'm coming in here to Baton Rouge. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I want. This is what I want to give everybody. This is what I want to give the fans. This is what I want to give the players.
I think as far as the office staff goes, we had a lot of changeover with the office staff. The staff that we have there now is great. We're sold out of dashers. We're sold out of ice logos. We're a small staff again, but they all work incredibly hard, incredibly long hours. So really proud of where we are with our front office. When I first got down to Baton Rouge, I know some people's heard about the housing, the busing, all of that stuff. That all needed to be changed right away. These guys come down, and they shouldn't be sitting on the side of the road at 2:30 in the morning, broken down. So definitely upgraded our busing last year, which was huge for our guys. The housing got all tore apart. We actually took it down to studs with a couple of the booster club members and a
Wow.
couple of our office staff. We took it down to studs. It's something. If I wouldn't live in it, I don't want a player to live in it, right? I don't want. If I'm doing something, I'm not going to ask a staff member, a player, or anybody to do something that I wouldn't do. So we really, the housing was a number one thing. The busing was number two. As far as the fans go, man, they're incredible, right? They come out, they support the team. Some of the stuff they do for some of the players is remarkable. They really embrace the team, and like I said, we need to get to the next level and make a deep run in the playoffs this year because the fans, the fans deserve that.
Yeah, 100%. And it's great to see all that stuff. I mean, like obviously, like it's huge, obviously, what you guys are doing, right? Like, I mean, the players, you spend more time, quality of life, right? You spend more time off the ice than you do on the ice, right? So all those things, it all plays into a positive environment and everything. So obviously, I mean, that's huge. That's awesome. And it makes for a better product for the fans. The players are happier. They're going to play better.
Absolutely. Yeah, you take care of them. The word spreads to all the players. You know how it is. You take care of them, and good things happen. We're starting to see that come around where more and more guys are calling, or you're getting this guy and that guy, or people are calling to be traded because of the way that they're getting treated in the housing situation and the busing situation, like we just talked about. If you take care of the guys, it's going to be a huge thing. Just like getting a guy called up. You got a reputation of getting guys called up. More and more guys, it's going to raise eyebrows, and more guys are going to want to come out and be a Zydeco.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and what's interesting too, like as this league is expanding, it's expanding west, it's expanding more in the south. And I spoke with Jerome in Columbus about this too. As it's expanding, it's interesting because it's kind of expanding at different rates for different clubs, right? Meaning that the guys in the Northeast, maybe they don't see as much of a effect as the guys in the South or in the West, right? Because to some extent, a lot of their schedule may change, or sorry, may stay the same, right? It's like my question to Jerome in Columbus was, when everything started expanding, for them, it's essentially kind of like a different league because they were really the farthest, the most southern team. They were constantly going up north to play. Now with all this expansion, they got like a whole different set of opponents, right? So for the guys in the Northeast, it's kind of saying, similar opponents, but for the guys down, down south, it's, they're seeing a bigger, impact of that change. How has that been like for Baton Rouge?
It's been good, obviously. You put those, you want a little pod, right? So that you're not traveling 14, 15 hours to a game. So those little pods are nice. I know sometimes it gets frustrating to fans to not see, Whitville come in or Watertown come in. But at the end of the day, it's got to, you got to make sense with your scheduling, right? Or else it's just not feasible to have your guys going to Watertown 3 times a year, So it's working out well. I think the league and the board of directors and everybody that has says been very smart and thought this whole process out as we keep expanding. We've expanded quite a bit to Topeka, but now that's our next, that's the next thing as a league is we got to start a pod up there and, get them some teams up that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, in terms of the expansion, I mean, like the cool thing is it's going well, right? Like sometimes leagues overexpand and you'd be like, oh boy, overexpand, but like it's getting stronger, right? It's not getting watered down. It's not staying the same. It's getting, it's getting stronger. And, like I said, that's it, it's gotta be cool in Baton Rouge. Like as you start to see, new opponents and stuff, like you guys are, like I said, probably seeing more the ripple effect of the expansion than a team, maybe like Danbury that they're not going to, maybe see some of these guys or see them as much.
Yeah, for sure. And, with the expansion, the league's been so smart about it, right? We're getting into bigger buildings. We're getting into beautiful buildings. When it first started out, we're not in that 500 seat arena anymore. We're 6, 7, 8,000 seat arenas now that, that it's great markets that are available still out there. And and they're doing a great job going out there, getting those buildings and making it, like you said, it's incredible of how the league's building from what it was from year 1 to now year 16.
Yeah, for sure. And your market, like what could they expect this year? Like in terms of what style team have you Bailey, Sylvain, been putting together?
Yeah, I've always liked tough hockey,
Yeah.
but when it comes to teams now, with me being involved with more and more teams, it's up to the coaches 100%. If they want my input, sure, I'm more than happy to sit down with them and give them my input, or if they need advice, whatever it might be. But this is now the coach's 100% responsibility. I just, it's not the right thing for me to step in and do something for Baton Rouge or Team X. And this is all the coaches. And when everybody's hired now, Chris and myself makes the coaches know, this is your team. You take it, you run. We want to win a championship. Do that for us. And every coach knows that. We'll never step on their toes.
Yeah, that's it's an important, and we spoke about it back in episode 2 with Andreas and Binghamton, where it's that you're trusting yourself that you made the right decision already, right? In terms of what your coach hired, right? So you don't have to make 1,000 little decisions along the way and micromanage. You made the decision that can domino everything else, and you're confident in your decision.
Absolutely. We're 100% confident with every coach that we have in either of the organizations that we got.
Yeah, for sure. And what are some of your goals for the organizations? Like obviously win a championship. Like, is there any other, little markers or bigger milestones along the way, or even past this year that you have in store for, or that you're working on for Baton Rouge?
Yeah, and you know what's nice with Baton Rouge? Last year, we seen our attendance go down a little bit. We had so many 3-and-3 games, a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The arena manager really helped us out this year. He made our Mardi Gras break a lot shorter. Mardi Gras is huge down here. If
Yep.
you don't know that, they actually take the ice out here. So we're on the road for a month and a half or whatever it was. So I think first year it might have been 8 weeks. Last year it was 7 weeks maybe, and then this year the arena manager helped us out and got us down to a 5.5 week break only. So he's been great. We have a lot more Friday Saturdays or a Thursday Friday. So I want to see our attendance numbers go back up. That would be huge for us to get the attendance numbers back up, because 3-and-3 people just don't come out to that. Either your staff's exhausted, but fans even, like, okay, let's go to Thursday, Friday, Saturday's game. They're going to pick Friday, Saturday, you know. So that really hurt our attendance numbers last year. But with the way Wayne at the general manager at the Raising Cane's River Center, he's been super helpful with that, because it's a win-win for everybody, right? The more fans you get in, the more food and beverage they sell and everything. So really, we're really excited about that, having those Friday, Saturdays.
Yeah, and it makes a better experience for the fans, right? Like obviously you're trying to give them a different show than, something that, gets too redundant or whatever. Like you want to keep them at the edge of their seats, right? So ultimately it's providing a better opportunity for the fans as well. Did you say they take the ice out for 8 weeks for Mardi Gras? Like that's typically what they used to do?
Yeah, I think it was 8 weeks. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was 7 or 8 weeks. They actually take it out, and they have these things called Mardi Gras balls.
Well, I was just going to say, is Mardi Gras like it was like an 8-week celebration down there in the building?
It's crazy. They
nuts.
have these
I knew it
things.
was big. I didn't know it was that big.
Yeah, they have these things called Mardi Gras balls, which I'm from New York, so I had no clue what they were, right? And I'm like, this is strange. They're taking the ice out for these Mardi Gras balls, and I had no clue what it was. And then I walked into the arena for a meeting, and all the ice was out, and I'm not lying. It looks like it was set up for a rock show. Like these people just go crazy for Mardi Gras down here. I was amazed at what it was, what they do with these Mardi Gras balls. And it's Monday through Sunday. It's every day of the week, all hours. It's absolutely crazy.
Wow. And what is it? Just like, like big festival and stuff? Like I'm assuming they have probably do have bands come in and stuff. Like it's just
it's a party.
Party.
It's a party. That's what they do. It's a massive party. I mean, it's all over the place, not just the arena. Other facilities hold these balls too.
Yeah.
I mean, you wake up one morning and there's a parade going by the house, and it's like, what's going on here?
That's right. I didn't want to sleep today.
Yeah, I mean, they love it, and it's pretty cool to see that, right? Like the players really enjoy that when it's happening, and it's fun to go over to New Orleans. That's only 40 minutes away or so, and it's fun to go over and check that out. But 1 year of that for me was quite enough for me.
You guys have any cool Mardi Gras theme nights now that there's going to be games in that 8-week period? Like, are you guys going to have your own like Mardi Gras ball?
Yeah, so well, we'll do a Mardi Gras jersey and celebrate Mardi Gras one special night. We did that last year. We had a Mardi Gras
Okay.
jersey, and this year we got a fun night planned for our Mardi Gras theme night. The beads and things like that. So it'll be a good time. The fans will really enjoy that, and that's another thing that the staff and I really try to focus on is to make sure our fans coming to the game are entertained, well taken care of, and just it's their entertainment for that night. We got to make sure that we give them that entertainment. If not, more than likely, if they're newcomers, they're not coming back. So that's one thing that the staff and I really take pride in.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that from private conversations that you and I have had, that I know how important that is to you, and I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. I'm excited to see your theme nights and promotions, and because like I said, I know how important that is to you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's about. It's about the fan experience. Without the fans, there's no team. Without the community support, there's no team, right? So we're super excited for this upcoming season. Every game there's something: rally towel giveaway, thunder sticks, meet and greets, all kinds of stuff. So
yeah,
we're looking. It'll be a fun season.
Yeah, for sure. Who's the biggest rivalry down there?
I would say, last year was probably Monroe.
Monroe.
Yeah, we'll see what it brings this year between Monroe or Mississippi. Topeka comes down here a lot, so we'll see where that goes too. You really never know until it plays out, right? And but every time we play Mississippi, every time we play Monroe, it's always a fun, action-packed game. So it's going to be a great season for us.
Yeah, I bet. And how about in terms of going on a road, any place that like you've heard the hockey ops staff talking that they're most excited to go going to, or anything like that yet?
Like coming to visit Topeka, or us going somewhere?
You guys going? Like, is there anywhere that the staff or the players are?
Yeah, obviously, the guy. It's really nice for us because we're in the warm. We're in the, we're down there, So
Yeah.
Going up north where it's snow and stuff, I don't know if the players enjoy that too much. But going over to Biloxi, right off the water, is always a pretty cool spot. So there's a lot of neat cities in this league, especially as they continue to grow. Like I said, there's a lot of neat cities for everybody to visit.
Yeah, absolutely. What's a typical day in the life for a player like down there? Like, let's say away from hockey.
Yeah, we have a team house, like I was telling you earlier, right? So it's anywhere from 12 to 14 guys live in the team house. We have a beautiful gym here. And a lot of guys, some will go over to New Orleans on a day off. Some will, hang around there. There's always stuff to do in Baton Rouge. It's the cool thing. LSU's 5 minutes from the arena, so when doing the schedule, we work our schedule around the LSU games, because if we have a game on LSU, those 110,000 people are going to the LSU games, so yeah. The guys like going to the basketball games, to the football games. They're here during football season. There's always tons of things to do in Baton Rouge. We have such great community support that the sponsors just open up their house to the players, our booster clubs, they'll go to dinner with players. So it's a really cool thing that we have down here.
Yeah, that's awesome. And in closing, what do you want to say to the fans?
Chad's working hard. We're going to do everything possible. At the end of the day, we always want to bring a championship to Baton Rouge. So that's our ultimate goal, is to bring a championship to Baton Rouge. And we have 100% faith in Chad to do that for us.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited for you guys. Season will be here. We're not far away now. So I appreciate the time as always, Don, and best of luck this year.
Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Hey guys, our new merch drop is live now on SH360. Visit 360.swanhockey.com and you can access it now. Once an item is gone, it may never return. You can also check the time capsule for older items. All SH360 purchases have season pass points attached. Just make sure that you use the same email address on SH360 as you do for Swan Hockey Digital. For more information or help with season pass, join the Discord. And that's your Beyond the Glass look into the Baton Rouge Zydeco. Let's do our proof of attendance token code for this episode. The proof of attendance token code for this episode is Mardi Gras. Let's go one word, all one word, Mardi Gras. Enter the code at swanhockey.io on the podcast page, and you will be eligible to receive your proof of attendance token for watching or listening to this episode. You guys know the deal by now, but these tokens double as raffle tickets. They also have your season pass points attached to them for anybody participating in our free rewards program, Season Pass, aimed at giving you more for things you already do, such as watching or listening to this podcast. For help with Season Pass, join the Swan Hockey Discord server. Again, you can get there from swanhockey.com or swanhockey.io, either one. Swanhockey.io is our digital experience, Swan Hockey Digital. And that's going to be it for this episode. All right, I will see you guys soon.
Thank you for being the best part of this episode of FPHL Beyond the Glass by Swan Hockey. We will see you soon.